Hello, beautiful people. I'm just going to take a few seconds to see if more of us will join this live. And if not, then I'll get started. Welcome to everyone who's joined in. Thank you. It's taken me quite a bit of courage to be on here, to share my heart with everything that's happened over the last weeks. So nice to see you, Michelle, Peter, Bafuri, Lama, Sheena. So much love to you all. Tertulia organization. I think that's Carlos. Big love, brother. You might see my cat pop in from time to time, so she's gonna be part of this conversation because I've actually asked her to be. So here we go. So I just want to first of all send my absolute condolences and my deepest respects for all the families that are experiencing hardship right now. And you know, it's so hard to see people dying, to see us dying. You know, for me it's one is the all and all is one. So it's also so sad to see us dying for injustice and for infliction of suffering. So my heart goes out to all the families of Palestine and Israel, because let's be real, we are both suffering. It's not one or the other. So just a little disclaimer, I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm not here to talk about either side and who's right and who's wrong, because I feel that we've been in this storyline for too long now, and I feel that it's time to really look in a new perspective. And another disclaimer is I'm not a politician, I'm not a scientist. I have no hidden agendas to doing this live video. I am just doing it purely, first of all, to express my truth, to express my heart, and to also offer a new perspective on how we can live on this planet together in harmony. So yeah, I just felt like I need to do these disclaimers. Lots of love. Hello, Joni. Hello, Nof and Aya and Agnieszka. Mwah. So, all right. I'd like to also talk a little bit about my background before I jump into this new perspective of living and coexisting together. So I'm originally Palestinian Lebanese. I'm born in Australia. No. Like you can tell my nerves. I'm born in Abu Dhabi, lived in Australia. So my whole life I've been between the East and the West. My grandparents did live and were born in Palestine. And they were living there, and they are victims of Nakba. So I was born in this dialogue ever since I was a child. I'm born into learning how to hate the other side. I'm born into this negativity and constant bombardment of the news, and we're in war and our families are dying and people are this. So I've lived this not firsthand because I am part of the diaspora, but my grandparents have lived this firsthand, and that trauma has passed on from generation to generation. And yeah, it's been so intense to live this, like all the time. I'm just always worried, always trying to do what I can to send donations, to organize things for Palestine. Like, people who know me from Abu Dhabi know that I used to try everything. And even in Australia, like, we used to do rallies, we used to go protest on the street, like, you know, did all of that really, and really lived this pain. And I would say still living this pain, but in another way. You know, I reached a point where I'm like, okay, how am I helping if I'm gonna keep being angry, and I'm gonna keep being upset, and I keep pointing fingers, and you know, you're this and you're that, and he did this and he did that. And look, I'm not gonna push away the reality. You know, the reality is that we have been put under serious measures in Palestine, you know, for 75 years. And it takes any normal human being to see the injustice that's happening. But I, as Christina, reach a point where I am so tired of living like this. You know, I got some news of my health 2 years ago, and it really was a wake-up call, because as I remember, 2 years ago, another huge war broke out in Gaza. And I was like running around and trying to do everything I can, from being in Abu Dhabi to, and it was just so like I'm like torn in 100 pieces, and I couldn't even focus on my work, and I'm just thinking about how I can help, and I'm not even being in my ultimate potential, so I can be there and do the best that I can. And when I got the news about my health, which one day everyone on this platform is going to know about, I realized that a big part of my pain was Palestine, was how much energy, how much sadness, how much I've been carrying for all of these years, all of them. So I decided to look at things a bit differently these days, actually, these past few days, past week, you know, since we got the news. You know, my instant reaction is to, okay, what can I do? I'm angry, and it's like an automatic response. But then I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, Christina, there's something so much bigger here. There is so much bigger at play. And then I started to zoom out, and I started to think, okay, wait a minute, how many countries are actually at war right now? Think about it. There's so many countries at war. There's Ukraine, there's Iran, there's Yemen, there's Ethiopia, Libya, Syria. Like, if you just go on Google and put all countries at war 2023, you will see the freaking list. Guys, this is so much more. I'm so sorry, but this is so beyond. And it's time to see a new perspective and really look at the world for really what it is. First of all, what's so important is to do your own research. Don't believe what anyone just blatantly tells you. You take the time. You want to know how to free yourself. You want to know how to really step into being part of this change. Then do your research first. See what is happening behind the stage. I mean, look what, just take for example, everybody I spoke to this week, every person is like, oh, I'm feeling down. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling heavy. I'm like, man, there's something so much more happening. Like, and look, I'm living in Portugal, and imagine the people here are feeling it. So it just shows you that when something is so intense or reaches the mass media, look how fast we can get moved. And the fact, if you're watching this right now and you have anger inside of you because of what's happening in the world, they got you. Really, they got you. And I'm not saying not to feel it, but we need to feel this anger, but remember how to change it. And I will get to that in a second. But what I'm trying to say is that there is something so much greater at play, and we are all the victims of it. It's not just Palestine or Israel or whatever. No, we are all victims of this. And it just shows you how fast they can get us. So this is the first main point I want to make, is that we need to start to see beyond this veil. This is the first most important thing. And when we start to see that there is something more intense at play, we need to start to ask ourselves, how far have I moved away from my heart? This is the second question. How far have I moved away? Where am I right now? Am I thinking about blaming? Am I thinking about I'm pissed off at this person? Am I thinking about how could they do this? This is the second thing. We need to see, where are we inside of this? If we're still pointing fingers, they also won. You know why? Because they want to separate us. This entity, this darkness, this whatever you want to call it, this evil intention, I'm going to call it evil intention, is here to divide us. Because if we were united, we wouldn't be seeing this. We wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't point the fingers at each other. So please also do your research about this evil entity. It's been written about in all of history. And if you follow religion, it's even in religion. And if you're a spiritualist, it is written about in spiritual texts too, in ancient Greece, in ancient Egypt, everywhere. Gnosis talks about it. The Kabbalah talks about it, like everything. Because all of these teachings, what they're trying to do is bring us back into our heart. And what is our heart? Our heart is the seat of the divine, of where divinity lives and breathes. It's right here. So if they're able to take us away from our heart space, automatically they have won. Because then we're in separation. We're not inside our heart. We're inside our heart. We are all one. Inside our heart, there is no separation. There is only unity. At least the way I see it is that we come from a source, whatever you want to call it, God, Allah, Creator, whatever it is a part of us. It is us and we are it, and it's in 9 billion and counting human bodies. This is not something so small. This is our essence. This is who we are. But it's how far away are we from this essence? So that's the second question I have for you. How far away are you from your heart space? There's so much I want to say. And then brings me, how much do you know yourself? The third point. How much do you truly know who you are and what you are? If now that I told you, okay, you have a part of God inside of you, and you're like, okay, and then what? But I'm a human being. And that's it. My next point. How much do you know who you are? To know thyself is to then master thyself. We are human being. We are the human, the ego, the animal that is temporary. We are the being that is divine, that is unlimited, that is infinite and eternal. And most of us are just sitting here in the human part of us. And we're here seeing separation, putting our egos in front of each other, hating each other, dividing each other. And then we forget that, hey, I have this part of me that's being, that's observing, that's linked to God and to divinity. What do I do with this part of myself? What do I do with it? So if we really know thyself and understand how we can live as a human being, we can start to see major shifts in our life. And even better, if you want to level up, is how can I live from the being into the human? Because right now, yes, the world's at war. Yes, we are seeing people dying, which it's not okay that many of us are dying, you know? And we are trying to solve this problem from human to human. Do you see? This is why we're not getting anywhere. We're going from human to human. And we're going, we're going on the part of us is from ego to ego. No. If we can go into and start to see the world from the being and live from the being into the human, then maybe we can start to see a shift, because in the being part of us, we are all one. We are united. We are in our heart. We see beyond all of this story. We see beyond all of this veil. So an invitation is, how can we live from the being into the human so we can start to make shifts on the planet? Which brings me to my next point. If we want to see change outside, and maybe you've all heard this, but really we need to start inside of us. This war that we see outside is only a result of what is happening inside each individual. And this is how powerful we are. And the faster we awaken to our power, the faster we are going to see real change on our planet. We're going to start to see cooperation. We're going to start to see unity. We will see it. But each person needs to take this accountability and responsibility to sorting out the war inside of themselves first. This is the ultimate step. If you're still getting triggered by the news, if you're still getting triggered by speaking to whoever, if you're still feeling all of these dense feelings, then there is still work to do. There is work to do, and it's okay. I'm not telling you need to be here or you need to be there. I mean, it's up to you. Whoever is watching this, I don't know who, I don't know. And I'm grateful if this reaches whoever, But you need to do the work, because if we're just going to sit and complain, we're just in a freaking loop. We're like on repeat over and over. Oh, I'm feeling pain, I'm feeling anger, they did this, they did that. Yeah, but what about you? Where has all of these pent-up feelings come from? Have they come from your childhood trauma? Have they come from your ancestral line? Have they come from, there's digging to do. You want to free yourself? You want to see a better world? Well, it's best to start with yourself instead of pointing the finger, because it's so easy to just point the finger at someone else and take the attention off yourself, then put it on you. And when you really start to put it on you, then this is when we're going to start to see something different. We need to take accountability for every thought, for every feeling, for every emotion. That's on us. And then when we find that peace inside of ourselves, and we have this peace in our inner world, then we start to see what's happening in our outer world differently. We stop seeing that this is fighting and this is this. No. Instead, we want to extend our compassion, and we really live from a different place inside of us. We want to know how can I contribute to this separation? How can I start to play my role so we can start to see a change? And this is only once you have reached this level within yourself where you're at peace with who you are. Yes, it's not easy to know that all of these families are dying and people that my friends of friends in Gaza are dying. It's not easy. It's so difficult to navigate through these emotions. But I am. Because I know that if I keep staying in the same shit, excuse my language, I'm just feeding this dark entity, this evilness that is feeding off our anger. It's feeding off our hate. It's feeding. Do we want to feed it? Really? Do we really want to feed this whatever you want to call it? You can label it as you want. For me, it's actually beyond human. It's not something that our human capacity can fully understand, because this is a war on consciousness. This is a spiritual war. And this has been going on for a very, very long time before you and I have been incarnated on this planet. So the sooner that we can wake up and the sooner we can see what is actually happening, the faster we can start to really live in compassion and in forgiveness and be there for one another and slowly start to live in this unity. I know it's not easy. Trust me. I've lived it since I've come to this planet. I was born into this separation and into this hate. And I'm so done, really. This time when I heard the news, I'm like, no. I am not going to leak out my energy anymore. No. I'm so tired of this. Really. I'm going to take accountability. If I feel something, I'm going to go inside of myself and I'm going to find, where is this actually coming from? Is it something in my inner child? Is it some attention that I needed when I was younger? Is it, whatever it is it pride? Is it my ego? I always come back to myself first. And I'm telling you, those who know me for a while, this is the first time that I am responding to the world, or specifically about what's happening in Palestine and Israel this way. Usually my Instagram is flooded. They bombed this and they did that and that. But I'm still, that's me being part of the problem. I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't. I'm done. I am part of the solution. I am part of the solution. And the only way that I am part of the solution is if I can clear my own vessel and clear all of my traumas so I can see beyond this veil. I'm just telling you, there's no way for us to move to this step of understanding if we haven't cleared our past traumas and pain. And I know there's a lot of people who are watching this, all my loved ones from Emirat, love you all, missing you all, who are still very heavy in this dialogue and probably are going to be so triggered and so shocked, like, whoa, Christina is saying this. Whoa, I'm not expecting that. But yes, I've evolved, and I want to keep evolving. I don't want to stay the same. I really don't. So, yeah, I really hope that some of this is making sense, or some of this is going to support you on your journey. So, one sec. I just have a few things I want to share, and I want to make sure. Marley, my love, I need you to move your butt. Oh. Sorry. I love you too, Fatoum, Habibti. Marley's kicking me. Okay. I have a list of things that I wanted to share before I end this video. Because truly, I just wanted to come on here and share a new way of being, a new way of looking at the world. Sorry, my loves. Marley's kicking my screen. Marley. Okay. Sorry, for those that don't know, my cat is here and she's right behind the video. Yeah, anyway, it's all good. Oh, my loves. So in these tough times, all I ask is for you to really practice this pause. Practice the pause. Practice how fast you react to things. And we can only practice that when we really know what presence is and know how to be present inside. Because we're bombarded from every angle, from the people around us, from the emotions of others, from our social media. Oh my God, my social media is flooded. Like, I can't even tell you, like, when I open, last night I'm like, I'm not going on there. I just can't, because everyone is just is feeding the problem. I'm so sorry to just fully bluntly say that. And I'm not saying it's great that we can extend our support. Yes, donate to charities. Yes, raise awareness. But when you raise awareness, what kind of intention are you putting behind it? If you're putting the intention of anger, you're spreading that to your neighbor and to your friend. So let's try and practice the pause. Practice the pause. So when you get an information sent to you, instead of reacting directly, just observe it. And then choose, how am I going to take this piece of information? Is it really helping me? Is it making me angrier? So it's really up to us to take accountability to how we receive this information. And the more we can be present, the more we practice the pause. So instead of reaction, we pause and then we respond. So this is my first thing I'd love to share, and that can probably help with not just the news on Israel or Palestine. It's the news of every day. That it's really funny because now everyone is so fired up, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, what's going on? But guys, this is happening every day of our lives. This is not new. This is not something that just happened. We have been living this. We've been living this over and over. We've been going through other stories too. It's not just about Palestine and Israel, really. They're going to bombard you. What's going to be the next thing on the headlines? And one more thing before I go into the next tool. If you don't believe this, which you are entitled to your own opinion and to your own perspective, I want you to go and research the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance is a machine, a huge machine, that measures the electromagnetic field of Earth. And you can see it fluctuating every day. And I swear to you, if we look at the Schumann resonance of the last week, the low energy on the planet is going to be so evident. And guess what? This is what they feed off. And I don't want to say they, because I want to also take accountability that we're a part of this and we're changing this, to remember our power. Remember that we are active co-creators. So stop playing small. Stop thinking you're this big. You really are more powerful and more filled with light, filled with this innate ability to create. It's inside of you. And this is a reminder. You probably know this, but I'm just here as a reminder. So yeah, check out the Schumann resonance. Second thing. So after, as I said before, a lot of people that I know are like, oh, I'm down. And people who are not Arab or Israeli, who are not linked to this at all. Oh, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling low. I'm feeling this. Research about the noosphere. This is the sphere of thought around our planet. The same way we have a geosphere, which is our elements and our rocks, and our biosphere, which is all living things. We have a noosphere, which is the sphere of thought, of human thought. And this is just to show you how interconnected we are. We are so interconnected. We're so interconnected. The one impacts the all impacts the one. This is us, guys. This is us. We just look different. We just have different vessels, but we're all affected. And if you want more proof of that we are all interconnected, please do your research on Nassim Haramein. He is an incredible scientist and quantum physicist who has scientifically proven the oneness of our entire universe. So that's another, I think it's called the black hole theory, or is it the unified theory? Yeah, he's got two different theories, but I think it's a unified theory. So check that out too. So yes, let's practice the pause. Second thing to stay afloat in these potent times is call your friends. Call your friends. Pick up the phone. We stopped calling each other. Now it's all texting or voice notes. Call. Hi, I'm not feeling good. Can you please hold space for me? I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling that, da. Talk to your loved ones, guys. We need each other. This is not a joke. What we're going through, this is a spiritual war, guys. It's been happening for a while. This is not something new. So please be there for each other. Hold space for each other. And if you can't hold space or you don't want to call someone, take your phone recorder and speak to yourself. I'm serious. I do that sometimes where I'm like, okay, I don't know who to call. I just take the recorder. I'm like, and after that, I'm like, okay. Because the most important that we can do in this really potent time, energetically speaking, is to regulate our nervous system. And if we can't do it ourselves, then we can do it with each other. We can co-regulate. We can be there for one another. So yes, call your friends, speak to yourself. I know it sounds freaking crazy. Like people are gonna be like, what happened? Or another thing that I do also is mirror work, which I will be doing also with groups in the future, is go into the mirror and speak to yourself. We keep thinking that we can't face who we are. No, you can. Like, just look at yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself. How are you feeling? How are you feeling today? I'm feeling like this. Okay, what can I do to support you? How can I make you feel better? Okay, maybe I would like a cup of tea, or maybe I'd like to read a book, or maybe I need to get off my social media, or maybe I need to go for a walk. So you can do this. Don't be afraid from who is staring back at you in the mirror. Please don't be afraid of yourself, because you're so amazing and you're so powerful. My gosh. Dear divinity, I love you. Okay. Next thing, creative expression. You have so much tools. You see the news, you see someone complaining, stop, pause, take your notebook, take your journal, sketch, draw, write, sing your favorite song, dance, put music and dance. The best thing we can do is transmute this energy, transmute this density, this pain that we're all feeling these days. Transmute it, because we can't carry it if we want to make change, if we want to bring in a higher vibration to this planet. I can't have you being in a low vibration. I'm sorry. And if you want to stay in a low vibration, then that's because you still have work to do. And really, this video is targeting the people who have had enough, who really want to start to level up, who really want to be co-creators of this realm, who want to make a change, who want to participate in the change. If you don't want to be in the change, it's cool. You can skip this video. It's totally fine, but the people who are watching this and you're ready, we can do this. And I believe in us. I believe in us. What else do we have? I think that's about it. Well, I mean, there's so many tools, right? Oh, of course, my favorite, meditation. I know it's really hard to meditate these days. Trust me, because I usually meditate every day, and I'm like, when I go into stillness, I feel bombarded. Literally, energetically, I'm like, I can feel it. I'm like, whoa, there's something so potent happening on the planet. And I'm sure more than one of you feel it. At least one of you who's watching this can feel it. I am so sure, because I'm not the only one feeling this way. I know it. So try and find the stillness. Go into the meditation. And if you're not able to reach stillness, the best way that we can is, first of all, go from outer to inner. So listen to what's happening outside of you. Listen to the birds, maybe the cars, the sound of the wind. Listen to what's outside of you first. And then go inside. What can I hear inside of me? Can I hear my breath? Can I hear my bloodstream move? Can I feel my sensations? So this is like what we can start to do. And once you start to identify this inner and outer, you can then cut through all of this and reach that state of total peace where you can't hear anything anymore. And that's how you know you've reached there. It's total peace, total. So do this for yourself. Take these tools. I mean, what I'm sharing is nothing new. I'm just a reminder, just like you are for me and I am for you. And yeah. And probably the last thing I'd love to talk about, and the last tool for us would be to hold the image of world peace inside of our mind. The more we are able to command our mind and command our body, the more we're able to really take our place as active creators of our reality and co-creators of our shared reality. So don't forget your power. So if we can hold this image inside of ourselves, how does it look like for you? I'm not just talking about what you're seeing on the news now. I'm talking about the whole planet right now. All of us. How would you see world peace? How does it feel like? So when you can see this image in your mind, start to feel it in your heart. How does world peace feel like? You wake up and you're like, wow, the wars are ended. They've given up all their weapons. And you feel this liberation and you feel this safety and you feel this joy and you're like, yes, we're there. And thank you to Dr. Joe for teaching me this. And also, I didn't even thank all my other teachers for being a part of my journey to be inspired by all this wisdom. But really, this one is specific to Dr. Joe, is to think about what we want to call in and then to feel it and then act as if it's already happening. We're already going through it. And the more we're able to really feel it. So if you can't do this, just saying, if you feel that you cannot do this, that means there's still work to do in clearing past emotions, past traumas, blah, 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 all of this past stuff. But if you can really feel this, and you can hold this image of world peace, and you can feel the feeling of world peace, I ask you to stay in there. You stay in there. And it's a dance, it's a dance. You might fall out of it and you start to go, you're out of that vibration, but you can pull yourself back in. You can pull yourself back in. So if you have the strength to do this, I would really urge you to do this, to hold the image of world peace inside. My last tool to share in these really potent times of transformation on the planet is exercise the strength of spirit. Exercise the strength of spirit. The same way you train your physical body to feel fit and to feel toned, the same way you exercise your spirit to stay in your power, to keep remembering who you are. Keep remembering who you are. Don't get so caught up in the story. Please, we need you. So exercise that strength in spirit. And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that. And I promise you, you're going to see huge shifts in your life. And the more that each of us do this individually, one by one, the more we will see it outside of us. But we will not see change outside of us until we all change inside of us. So it is an individual responsibility to each of us. This is an individual responsibility. Okay? And then when it becomes individual and you feel like you've reached there, you start to see it outside of you. And of course, I'm sorry, I did not say this in the beginning of my video, but really this is tailored to people who have the privilege of living in safety, who are not living in war zones, you know? And that makes our role so much more important, because there's so many of us that are living in privilege and living in safety, and they need us. The people who are in the war zones need us more than ever. I have goosebumps all over my body. They need us. They can't. They are so blinded by their 3D because they're living that reality. They're paying a price for us. So if they're paying a price for us, we need to do something for them too, because there is no separation. That is your brother and your sister. They need us. They need us to be in our power. They need us to stand up for humanity and for the light. They need us to be united, one powerful force of light all over the world. We need to awaken more than ever. And I'm speaking to you, divinity, and I know you can hear me. And I know you can hear me, divinity. To every person that is looking at this video, I know you can hear me. We just need to keep coming back to our heart and taming the body and taming the mind and remembering that we are human being. We are not stuck in the human, in the animal, in the ego, in the temporary. We are, the essence of us is the being, the infinite, the unlimited, the divine. And if we can live from this and we can tame the human from this part of us, the being part of us, then we can start to see change. But we will never sort out our world problems from human to human. We need to go beyond. We need to go beyond. And yes, Cynthia, non-duality is the way to go. And only until we have woken up to the divinity inside of us that we can start to see the divinity in others. That I could see it in you. And if I could see the divine in you, if I could see God in you, then why would I want to hurt you? Why would I want to harm you? Why would I want to be separate from you? Instead, I want to embrace you and tell you, welcome home. So good to see you again. How can we support each other? And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, because that's a dream to me. Because in every day of my life, I always practice. And it is a practice. As I said, exercise the strength of the spirit. I practice to see the divine in everything. And even if someone has wronged me, I can see that that's not them. That's their ego. That's their human side. And that human side is conditioned. It's traumatized. It's in pain. And I have compassion because I was there. And of course, if I get triggered, I work on it. I work on that. But other than that, I can see beyond. And I see you, divinity. I see you in all. And until the day I leave this planet, my message would be that. Is to live your divinity. And the only way we can live our divinity is to come back into the heart. So keep asking yourself every day, how far am I from my heart? How am I feeling? What can I do to shift this feeling? How can I be part of the solution and not the problem? Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in, that's listening, live and not live. I appreciate you. I want to give thanks to every soul that has sacrificed itself, or I would like to see it as being put on the altar to offer its life so we can start to see more clearly. Thank you to those souls. Thank you for being so brave, for coming here to decide to choose to live in war zones. You are so powerful. And I will always do what I can to support your soul, to be a better person, to take responsibility and accountability so I can also participate in this new world that's coming. I want to send my respects to all the families that are affected by war, wherever you are in the country or in the world. I really feel with you. I really do. And all I can say is stay strong and stay in your heart and take part in the change. Let's try and not add more hate to hate. Let's try and stay in our compassion. Clear the hate inside of you, because that's your responsibility. But then once you've cleared it inside of you and understood where this hate is coming from, we can all rise into compassion. We can all rise into gratitude. And the more of us that will awaken, step by step, we will see governments fall. Because we already all know that the patriarchy has fallen and they are losing power. And they are on the last brink. So don't give your precious energy to them. Energy is our currency, just like money. Energy is our currency. So please be very, very mindful of where you're putting your energy, and make sure nobody's taking it away from you in the form of hate and separation and greed and pain. You are so beyond. I'm talking to you, divinity. I know you hear me. And I just want to, I know if this is crazy, but I want to thank this vessel that is Christina, because I cannot tell you how much dialogue I've had with myself to do this. It's a big step for me to be here in this pixel reality, but truly it just shows you the power of social media. If I'm going to end on this note. The power of social media. We have these channels. Use them for good. Don't use them to spread hate. Use them for good. Speak up. We need your voice. We need your truth. We need you in your full authenticity, in your heart. Don't be afraid to show who you are. Don't. Please. This light inside of you is just waiting for you to give it space. Literally, it just wants you to give it space so it can, and that's what's happened to me. Like these last few days, I've been like, oh my God, what's happening in the world? I need to go live. I need to speak. I need to. And then I was like, whoa, this is huge. And it's like, and then I just had to deal with myself, with the human side of me. It's like, Christina, I need you to step out of the way. And I need the being part of Christina to go for it. So yeah, my loves, I wish you peace. I wish you love. I wish you health. And I'm always here for you. Please don't be a stranger. Reach out to me. Let's keep this. Let's keep united in any way that we can. Let's keep being reminders for each other to stay in our heart, to live in our heart. I know it's not easy, but always remember you are a human being. You are not just human. There is two parts to you, and even more. This is the simplified version, so it's easy to digest. Okay. I love you all very much. Mwah. I extend my love to you and to all your loved ones. And may we see peace in the world in our lifetime. And so it is.